Hello everyone, my name is Pukar Dhital. I'm an English instructor and today we're going through Grade 7 English. We'll be covering the chapter Narrating Events. So let's begin the chapter.
So what exactly is narrating event? Can you give me an idea on this topic? So here, narrating simply means that you are reporting or saying something about a particular event, all right? How the event had happened, okay? And you're reporting such event. And so as to speak, when we talk daily in our normal communication, we often keep on narrating things like what you did yesterday at home, or what you did yesterday at school, or how you played a game yesterday, right? Or what happened on your way to school. Okay, so just before we begin this chapter, I just wanted to give your thought on these two questions. Have you ever come late for school? And secondly, you must have made excuses for coming late. What did you say? Did you tell the truth or did you lie? So, look at these two questions. Have you ever come late for school? You must have made excuses for coming late. Excuses mean usually a reason for not doing something, all right? And sometimes you even tend to lie because a certain work is not done or certain expectation has not been carried out, okay? So you must have made excuses for coming late. What did you say? Did you tell the truth or did you lie? So when you were late for school, what did you tell a teacher? How you handled that situation when you were late? Because you know that you would get a scolding now, right? Because you're not on time. So in what manner have you convinced your teacher? And in what way have you given answers to a teacher, right, justifying the reasons you were late? I just wanted to discuss this in the classroom, all right? Maybe we can discuss for the next 5 minutes or so. Have you ever come late for school? Were you ever late to school? Of course, in one way or the other, we do tend to get late, right? If not every now and then at least sometimes we do reach late. You must have made excuses for coming late. So when a teacher asked you why you were late, you must have given so many reasons. What did you say? Did you tell the truth or did you lie? Okay, it's just a discussion which I want you to carry out in the classroom. So let's begin the passes. So before we begin the passes, I want you to look at these words here. On the left hand side, we have what we call word. On the right side, on the right column, we have its meaning. All right. So look at this. Rumbling means a continuous deep sound. Blinding, temporarily disturbing vision. Hovering, remain in one place in air, invisible, unable to be seen. Puddle, a small pool of liquid. Now that we have learned these new words, I'm going to give you a technique which will help you improve your vocabulary. All right. So let's say it will help you improve your vocabulary. So what to do, every now and then, whenever we read English, we come across certain words whose meaning we do not know. And that happens pretty often, I know, right? So what we do is we always take best help of dictionary. And these days, thanks to the technology that we even have a dictionary in our mobile phone, all right? We can make best use of that dictionary as well, mobile dictionary, all right? And then every time we come across certain word whose meaning we do not know, I want you to follow this particular format, which will help you to improve your vocabulary words. Okay, so let me work on the word invisible, which is here given in the passage. Okay, so the word is invisible, all right, and its meaning is, remember the meaning which I've just read, or maybe you can look at a dictionary and find out its meaning. Unable to be seen. Unable to be seen. And now we have part of speech. Now, part of speech is always given in the dictionary, all right, next to the word, and it's always given in abbreviated form. Like if it's verb, it's just written V, or ADV for adverb, or ADJ for adjective, and noun, N for noun, right? So in this case, it's part of speech is adjective. Now, what we do is sentence from the book. Now, in this sentence from the book, we copy where the very sentence where this particular word invisible is used. See, I tell you again. Now in this title here, sentence from the book, we copy the exact sentence where this word is used, and that we can find in the passage. Okay, for now, now this is from the passage, remember. I wanted to run away, but some invisible force was pulling me towards the disc. See, sentence from the book. I wanted to run away, but some invisible, see, we use the word here. Invisible force was pulling me towards the disc. All right. Now what we do is we write sentence of my own. See, now you know the word. Now you also know its meaning. You also know its part of speech. You also know how this word is used in the sentence. And what we write now is sentence of my own. Meaning you make your own sentence, all right, out of this word invisible. In what way can you make your own sentence, all right, with the word invisible, or from the word invisible? Nation is ruled by government and not by invisible hands. See, nation is ruled by government and not by invisible hands. Okay, there's no miracle after how a nation is being ruled. Right? A nation is ruled by government and not by an invisible hand. And of course, you can make your own sentence here. In fact, I encourage you to make your own sentence and show it to your teacher. Okay, and this, remember, don't follow this technique only for your course book. Whenever you read any articles, any newspaper articles, any magazines, any novels, let's say, or any stories, and whenever you come across any new word, you can always follow this technique to improve your vocabulary. And of course, you can always maintain your personal diary, right, where you will keep on maintaining your vocabulary words, okay? This way, you can really help yourself build up your English. Now, let's continue further. In fact, now let's read the passage. Now, see, the title of the passage is Excuse Me. Excuse me. Prithvi and Sonam were late for school. The class teacher made them write on why they were late for school. Let us read what they have written. Sonam, I generally walk to school. Today, also, I was walking. As I was nearing a turn with lots of trees, something unusual happened. I saw a blinding flash of light. There was a deep rumbling sound too. I was wondering what might be going on when I saw the most unusual sight. There was a big disc hovering above the trees. Lights of different colors were flashing on and off. I wanted to run away, but some invisible force was pulling me towards the disc. I caught hold of a tree and wrapped my arms around it. I was very afraid and closed my eyes. I held the tree with all the strength I had. After a while, the pulling stopped. I looked around, but there were no lights or sound. As I looked up, I saw a round shape disappearing in the sky. So this is what Sonam had written. Strange, isn't it? What he says is he usually walk to school, and that particular day he saw something, very bright object next to a tree, all right? And that object was in fact trying to pull him towards it, and he held himself, all right, tightly to a tree trunk. Hopefully he was not pulled, and then in no time he saw the thing, all right, the object disappearing into the sky. Okay, let's go further. I must have stayed there for a very long time. When I reached the school, the classes had already begun. Okay, so this is what Sonam had written. Now let's see what Prithvi had to write. I come to school every day on a bus. When I was walking to the bus stop, I slipped and fell into a puddle. All my clothes were muddy. I looked around and found a tap after a few minutes. Many women were cleaning and washing there. I cleaned my clothes as best as I could. After cleaning my clothes, I rushed to the bus stop. I ran almost all the way. I was breathing very fast when I reached there. I couldn't see any of my school friends there at the stop. Then I saw the bus leaving in the distance. I had missed my bus. The students were studying in their classes when I reached school. All right. So now he says that, you know what, he was rushing to his bus and all of a sudden he fell down and he fell into a puddle. All right. Puddle is more like a pit, all right, where usually rainwater or you know, any water, you know, it would be very bad luck to you if you fall into a puddle, and that too which has a sewer water or drainage water. Okay, so this guy Prithvi fell into a puddle, and his clothes were muddy. Of course, he had to wash his clothes, and by the time he did that, he missed his bus. Okay, and he says by the time he reached school, all the students were studying in their respective classes. Okay, now that we've read the passage, let's try to answer a few questions. Okay, now, these questions are all based on the passage which I've just read. All right, so to begin with, number A, who were late for school? Can you answer this? Of course, it's very simple, isn't it? Prithvi and Sonam were late for school. Right? Let's move further. I'm going to help you with a few questions here, okay? Now, let's go to number B. How were Sonam and Prithvi punished for being late? How were Sonam and Prithvi punished for being late? Remember, every time when we answer the questions, we always take care of these auxiliary verbs, all right, or the tense. In which tense the question has been asked. As a punishment for being late, the class teacher of Sonam and Prithvi made them write on why they were late for school. See, as a punishment for being late, the class teacher of Sonam and Prithvi made them write on why they were late for school. Right, let's move further. Number C. How do Sonam and Prithvi come to school? How do Sonam and Prithvi come to school? Do you remember the passage? See, Sonam walks to school and Prithvi goes to school by bus. See, Sonam walks to school and Prithvi goes to school by bus. All right, and I'm going to help you do one more question. What did Sonam see in the sky? Remember, the question here is asked in simple past. All right, and the verb here is see. What did Sonam see in the sky? Sonam saw. So remember, the question here is asked in simple past, so you'll have to change this verb to past. Okay, Sonam saw a round shape disappearing in the sky. Okay, Sonam saw a round shape disappearing in the sky. Okay, now that I've done these 4 questions to you, all right, I'm going to give you a rest of the question as your classwork and also as your homework, of course. So to begin with, all right, these are very simple questions. Remember, the answers lie right in the passage. Okay, so you'll have to read the passage. So these are for your homework. Okay, to begin with, who saw a blinding flash of light? Okay, remember, most of the time the answers begin right from the question. All right, who saw a blinding flash of light? Sonam saw a blinding flash of light. So it's just one word which will, and of course, to make it a complete answer, you'll have to write Sonam saw a blinding flash of light. Now, number B, how did Prithvi get his clothes dirty? How did Prithvi get his clothes dirty? C, how did Sonam save herself from the disc? How did Sonam save herself from the disc? By the way, talking about the disc, all right, just letting you know that this disc is, the passage referred to this disc as UFO. Now, UFO is what is known as unidentified flying objects. Okay, so yes, the passage is referring to the disc as UFO. And what is UFO? It's unidentified flying objects. You know what? And much interestingly, people believe the spaceship of, or let's say, the flying machine of alien, right, is believed to be unidentified. They are unidentified because we have nothing as such on planet Earth, all right? That's why they're unidentified. All the planes that you see, all the fighter planes that you see, they're identified. We know those planes are made by humans, but these are unidentified, possibly believed to have been flown by aliens. So maybe Sonam did see, as per her in the passage, a UFO. You see? So just giving you extra information here. Never mind. Let's move further. And this is very simple. Read the passage and say whether these statements are true or false. If it's true, write true. If it's false, write false. Okay? Prithvi was on time for school. Was he on time? Of course, no. So just write false. Okay? So you got to do B, C, D, E. You can possibly do it in the classroom. Sonam goes to school by bus. What do you think? Is that correct? If it's correct, write true. If it's false, write FALSE, false. Okay? Prithvi missed his bus. Is that correct? The flying object caught Sonam. Did it actually caught Sonam? And finally, the students were playing games when Prithvi reached school. Of course, this is also false. Alright, so this you can do it in the classroom itself. Remember the answers. If you're confused, read the passage to get the proper answer. Okay? And again, so we have here fill in the blanks with the correct words from the list. Okay? So we have here 5 words given to us, and we have here 5 sentences here. Alright? So we got to fill in the correct words. The magician suddenly became invisible. Alright, here you go. I'm going to help you with one. INVISIBLE. Invisible. And yesterday's so. I heard the dash blank space sound of the wheels of the bus when I was walking on the road. So maybe it's rumbling. I heard the rumbling sound of the wheels of the bus when I was walking on the road. The headlights of the car approaching me were, again, it's up to you. My cycle got stuck in a, again, that's up to you, in yesterday's rain. The rescue helicopter was, here's a blank, and as the rope pulled the victims. Alright, so you got to fill in the correct words here. In case you have confusion what these words mean, of course, there's always take best help of dictionary. Alright, take best help of dictionary. Alright, so, and finally, one more homework which I would like to give you is note the major things that happened when Sonam and Prithvi were coming to... Note the major things that happened when Sonam and Prithvi were coming to school. Alright, so let's say here, first we write about Sonam. So what major things happened when Sonam and Prithvi were coming to school? So when Sonam was coming to school, you got to read the passage again for this answer, okay? So see, so under Sonam, you'll be writing, just give it number, all right, number A. Remember, you're just noting down the major thing, all right, the primary things that happened, all right. What unusual things happened, rather, okay? What unusual thing happened when Sonam and Prithvi were coming to school? So for Sonam, you got to write Sonam saw a blinding flash of... See, it's a major thing that happened. See, this sort of thing doesn't happen every day, right? Number B. He, because you've already introduced Sonam, now you can use the pronoun, okay? He heard a deep rumbling sound too, okay? And of course, how could we miss this one? See, there was a big disc hovering above the trees. Okay, so just missed that there. There was a big disc hovering above the trees. Number D. Lights of different colors were flashing on and off. See, all these are the major things which Sonam saw happen, all right? Some invisible force was pulling Sonam towards the disc. Right, we continue here to the next page, and of course, finally, he saw a round shape disappearing in the sky. He saw a round shape disappearing in the sky. So see, these are the unusual thing, or the major thing which Sonam witnessed on his way to school. Now, in the similar manner, you will be writing about Prithvi. Remember, all right, something that didn't happen, that doesn't happen on daily basis some major things that happened when Prithvi was going to the school. You can write this down. All right. So these questions, all right, few slides before this particular page, I've also given you homework there. There are questions, and also you write about Prithvi. Of course, these are all exercises. You can do it as a homework. All right. So thank you very much. And if you have any queries, please feel free to email us at learning@deerwalk.edu.np. Thank you so much.